What's up, YouTube? This is Matt with Chrome Donkey. I just wanted to come at you guys with another video. This is going to be another project. Where are we right now? We're actually in the Gladiator going south on Interstate 285 right now in Atlanta. And we're going down to a little town called Palmetto, Georgia. And the reason I'm doing this is I actually have been putting a lot of thought into here recently building an Overland trailer. I really wanted to do an Overland rig with the Gladiator just as a whole, and I debated whether or not I wanted to do the bed rack with the rooftop tent, the refrigerator, the full 9 to actually be able to go camping. And there's pros and cons of each strategy, right? If you do everything built on top of the Gladiator, it's certainly more nimble on the trail. You don't have to worry about towing anything, and if you're on a tight trail where you have to back up and turn around, certainly it's a lot easier if you don't have anything in tow. On the plus side, though, for the trailer, is you don't have to do anything to the actual Gladiator, like installing the rack. And one of the things for me is I really didn't want to install something that was quote-unquote semi-permanent on the actual Gladiator that would interfere with using the bed. And, prime example, if you ever had to put anything in the bed that was taller than, say, 4 feet, maybe 5 feet, that bed alone or the rack alone would prevent you from doing that just based on, its height. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is I just wanted to build the trailer to set up a base camp. So, whenever we do go overlanding, whenever we do finally get off-road and go camping, it'll be nice to disconnect the trailer, set it up with a rooftop tent, probably a canopy and everything, and let that be the actual campsite. And then the Jeep will be completely disconnected. So if you wanted to go explore on the trail or do anything else, you would have that ability. So those are the couple of reasons that I decided to go the Overland trailer approach versus building it on top of the Gladiator itself. Now, getting to why we're in the Jeep this morning. So, what to do with a trailer. So, as you guys know, if you're watching this video, you've probably done some research on these things. And if you were to just flat out go out and buy one, I know, for an example, Smittybilt makes one. There's a couple other manufacturers that specialize in building Overland trailers. They are absurdly expensive, in my opinion, for what you get. Most of them are real small trailers, single axle trailers. Yeah, you get, off-road and oversized wheels and tires. You get a nice new frame and all this kind of stuff, but really it's just sheet metal with compartments to haul your stuff and a frame for a tent. And I've seen those go for 6-7 grand. Some of the nice ones, 10, 11, 12 grand, which is absurd when you really look at what it is. It's a real tiny little trailer with a frame on it and a couple of compartments. So I definitely wasn't even remotely considering that. But what I was considering doing is, like a lot of other people online have done, is find one of these old military trailers and actually building a metal frame on top of that for the rooftop tent. And then you can build up, with typical sheet metal, you can build your compartments. And you don't even have to do compartments. You could just get some Pelican cases to haul your stuff, and you could leave it open air and just do the rack for the tent. And that right there would be good. So there's several different military trailers that I was looking at. And the one concern that I had with all of them is weight. This is a Gladiator. It's not meant to tow, a ton of weight. It's rated at, I think the Rubicon is 7,000 pounds. I've got the lift and different shocks and different springs, so I'm not really trying to test the limits of that 7,000 pound rating, certainly since I've altered the suspension. So I wanted a light trailer, and a lot of these military trailers that you run across, like the M1101, the M105, these things are heavy trailers. They were not originally towed with like a Willys Jeep. They were towed with a much bigger vehicle, sometimes the Humvees and these other larger trucks. So some of these trailers, like the 1105 and even the 101A, which I'll get to in a minute, but the 1105 specifically and the 105, literally just one extra one in there, both of those trailers were like 2,000 plus pounds by themselves. Before you ever thought about putting anything in the trailer, literally just the trailer connected to your vehicle was towing an extra 2, sometimes 2,500 pounds. And for me, that's just not going to work, for obvious reasons. That's a super heavy trailer to be worried about towing on a trail. And then when you add gear to it, right? When you add the tent, when you add the fridge, when you add all these other components, it's just going to get heavier. So I didn't want to mess with that. Now, the 101A, the M101, that was something that I was considering quite heavily, and there's a lot of YouTube videos online of people using the 101 as a good frame to start on, and the 101 is certainly a bigger trailer than what I'm on the way to get. But
in 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 61 for I-85 south toward Columbus, Montgomery.
All right. Thank you, Google. Got to get on 85 south here in a minute, so apologize about the navigation. But so the 101 is certainly much lighter. I think they rate that as, I want to say it's a 3/4 ton trailer. And I want to say curb weight on it is like 1,800 pounds, something like that. So it's still heavy, but it's certainly a bigger trailer. And I think it's more aluminum in construction, which makes it a little bit lighter. And I don't claim to be any military trailer expert by any stretch of the imagination, but it's easy to find specs on what these trailers are, original OEM. And it was still over 1,000 pounds, which is still quite heavy, but you had a lot more room to work with, a lot more frame to build on. And, when you look at the 101 versus the ones that I'm getting at, and I'm going to get, which I'll talk about in a minute, price-wise, they were about the same. They're also really hard to find, both of them. And at the end of the day, I had to search for a 101, and also had to search for what they call an M100, and also a small variant of that is
in half a mile, use the right lane to take exit 61 for I-85 south toward Columbus, Montgomery.
And another variant of the M100 is the M416. So the M416 and the M100 might as well be the same trailer. They're very, very similar. And
use the right lane to take exit.
All right, guys, I had to cut a lot of that out because my navigation was telling me all kinds of directions. But essentially where I was at in my story is deciding between the M101 and what I'm going to get now, which is the M100. And another variant of the M100 is the M416. So when you're Googling these and you're looking them up on the internet, the M416 and the M100 are almost the exact same trailer. And originally these trailers were designed to be towed behind the Willys Jeep. So much smaller tow vehicle, much lighter trailer. And I think the curb weight on these are only like 500 or 600 pounds. So it's really a light trailer, certainly a lot smaller, but it's perfect for an Overland build. And, for obvious reasons, it's lighter, it's smaller, it's more maneuverable, it's less strain on the tow vehicle when you're on the trail, for all those reasons. And I was coming across and looking at, the M100 and the M101, and I came across this deal that I just couldn't pass up. And, without going into the numbers on this video, basically a guy down here in Palmetto is selling both. He's got 2 M100 trailers that are in excellent condition, still military green, has really nice paint, no dents. A lot of these trailers you find the frame itself has a bunch of dents and fenders are all banged up. These are in really, really good condition. They've been restored, actually. What he was telling me, somebody actually restored them, and what a lot of people do with them is actually hook them up to their original Willys Jeep for like the shows, the World War II shows and things like that. So they still have the pintle hitches on them, and really, really good condition. And basically he cut me a deal where I was able to get 2 of these for the price of what they were going for online for one. So again, it's one of those situations very similar to my jet ski projects. I just couldn't pass up. So I'm on the way right now. I've got a 4-foot by 12-foot U-Haul trailer behind the Gladiator right now, and hopefully that'll be big enough to stack these trailers in there, you know, connect them, do the come-along straps so they don't fly off the trailer on the way home, and get them home. And then probably what I'm going to do, I'm still debating on this, I will probably turn around and sell one as is, untouched. I'll, you know, take my pick of the litter, obviously, whichever one is in better condition, keep that for my own project and sell the other one. And if all goes according to plan, based on what I've seen these go for online, Facebook Marketplace, GovPlanet, there's a lot of these other places that sell military gear, these things go for what I just paid for 2 of them. So my hope is to sell it for exactly what I'm paying for these 2, so it's a wash and I wind up with a free trailer. So that's the goal, and then I'll build an Overland rig on it. The other thing that I'm dabbling with is keep both of them and actually build 2 Overland trailers, maybe do them identical, so every time I do something to one, I do it to the other, and then coming out on the other side, I have one for me and one that I sell. And like I said, I've seen some of these Overland builds go for anywhere from $4 grand, $5 grand, sometimes $6 and $7 grand, depending on what all gear they come with, like a tent. So we'll see. Anyway, stay tuned to the video. I'm gonna give you guys a picture when I get down there, and I'm really looking forward to this. It should be a fun adventure for a Saturday morning. So if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe if you think this video is you know, entertaining. And that's really what my goal is to keep bringing you guys content that is just different, that's out of the box, and hopefully you enjoy this. So stay tuned for more. Okay, quick status update. I have done the deal. I picked up the trailers. Funny story, when I went to go get these trailers, the guy's building where they were stored, it's a big building, probably 200 yards off the main road, and we've had a ton of rain here in Georgia here lately, and towing this, you know, 6-foot wide by 12-foot long U-Haul trailer through that field in the mud, it was hilarious, because backing up the Jeep, I actually got stuck in 2-wheel drive. So ironically enough, today was the first time I actually got to use 4-wheel drive in this Gladiator since I had it lifted, which obviously was no problem, backed it up and got out of there just fine, but I just thought that was funny. It's like, here I am going to pick up Overland trailers and military trailers from Overland project, I should say, and got a little mud riding in on the side, which is kind of funny. But these trailers work great on the U-Haul trailer. Basically what I did, and I'll show a picture here in a minute, is the first one that went in, the tongue went up over the top of the U-Haul trailer, and the second military trailer just hooked into the first one, and then I've got them cinched down with several come-along straps to make sure they don't go bouncing or flying off anywhere. But they're tucked in nicely, they're riding good. So next stop is to get them home, get them unloaded, put them in the garage for the time being, and then take this U-Haul trailer back, and then we'll see what we're working with. But I was really impressed with the condition of them. They look really good. The pictures definitely did them justice. You know, there's 2 obviously, so I'm going to go through and inspect them, figure out which one I want to keep. Now I will say that only one of them came with the plates for like the serial number and, you know, all the specs, and I'm not really worried about that, to be frank, because first off, you can get those plates off eBay. Literally, you just search for the model of the trailer and they make brand new, you know, OEM plates that you can rivet into the trailer. The only thing you're not going to have with those type of plates is an actual serial number or identification number. But as far as the trailer specs, the weight, you know, the payload, all that kind of stuff, I'm going to replace that on the one that I keep for sure. And then one has the serial number, so that'll make it a lot easier when it comes time to get it registered. And so yeah, so intel on the way home, and stay tuned for more on this video.